Hello, Earthlings. Frannie Ellcrys here. Want to continue on to. I literally did this all in one day. I'm so proud of myself, and these videos are much better. Anyways, so this is the last little section that I'm going to talk about at the end of my book. And okay, so the other day we was super stoned and created this woke spell. So this woke spell, I created it before I really wrote the book too. Anyways, it was just great. If you feel like you need a little spell casting to get you started, then read this out loud to yourself. But only if you feel like you need it. It's totally up to you. Always with consent. We were so proud of it. We created it in like literally 5 minutes. I'm not even exaggerating. But we did have some help from a classic movie we all know and love. It's all just a bit of hocus pocus. So this is my woke spell. Lost soul, long since dead, deep asleep in thy comfy bed, wiggle thy body, open thy third eye. Life is free, be not shy. On thy healing path, so say I. And that's my woke spell. We have a feeling that some of you read it without needing it, but hope you enjoyed it either way. We know we did. Because, hello, if you don't like hocus pocus, then what trauma do you need to heal from? And it was kind of great that I'm redoing this at this now, because in September they're coming out with Hocus Pocus 2. And I'm pretty excited. I'm a little scared too, because I'm like, I wonder what they're going to do with it, because I think I have probably high expectations, but hopefully it'll be good. It'll be fine. It'll be good. But anyways, last thing. This is our story, so please do not change it, but by all means add to it. This is your story as well. Think of it as a book of shadows, where you add your traditions, potions, curse breaking, and spells in the way that you can heal. In the way it can heal you. Sorry. Because like when I want to get this published, and then I want pages in the back to where you can add your stuff to it if you want, because I really love the idea of Book of Shadows, and which is, very well-known charm thing, because they like add all their stuff in there and it's passed down from generation to generation. So like this book I'm going to pass down to my adoptive kids whenever I get a chance to adopt some kids. But also I might not physically adopt kids. I just think that people who read this who don't really have a great parent figure could, because I've had friends in the past who didn't have a great parent figure and kind of like said that I was kind of like a mom figure to them in a sense. So like even if this is passed down to the kids who just read it, and when I say kids, I'm talking about all kids of all ages, because we were all kids, because a lot of us didn't even get to have, a real childhood, So like, no matter how old you are, you're still a kid. Okay? Let's just put it that way. This whole grown-up shit is ridiculous anyways. I mean, all it is full of bills. Learn from our experience in these teachings. Grow with your own experience in teachings, and evolve with putting to practice all of them that work for you as a unique, diverse, amazing individual. And always remember, Earth Creator loves you unconditionally and with great, genuine, gentle care. Big Earth hug. Big Earth hug. That's why I want to travel the world eventually and just go around to all the huge ass trees that have been around for hundreds of years, because luckily we haven't cut those guys down, and just hug them all. I just want to that's my way of hugging Earth. But anyways, because I'm a Taurus, so I'm an Earth symbol. So Earth is definitely my jam. So at the end of this book, I have a list that influenced this. Most of just proof that truth is out there, and you just gotta be willing to look for them. Please enjoy the journey of knowledge. These are not in any special order, so just watch them in whatever order you want. We definitely recommend watching all the documentaries, but the other stuff, just pick what interests you. Have an open mind while watching these. Always check them off if you know them, and check them off as you watch the new ones. Happy going down the knowledge rabbit hole journey. It will be worth it. Be sure you have tissues nearby and maybe some other comforts. It will be a roller coaster of an emotional ride. And then at the end I just put and maybe you can just like pause it. Oh shit, is it gonna focus? It might not focus. But anyways, at the end of the book, I'll probably just like copy and paste the list and put them in like comments or something, so that way you can go and watch these documentaries, especially the documentaries. But I also have like TV shows that I really enjoyed, who, like I said, we kind of like can connect with them because they're kind of telling what we're going through, you know. But then also there's a music list. But I'll put those in the comments, like just the list of the names, so that way you can go look at what I've been listening to during. It is definitely what I've been watching or listening to during the pandemic, especially the documentaries. But like I said, there's TV shows and movies and a few YouTubers that got me through this. One big YouTuber that I like is Bailey Sarian for her murder or mystery murder makeup, but also Dark History. The Dark History podcast. If you haven't been listening to it, go listen to it, because it tells us a lot about our dark history here in this country. And I think there's some that she's talked about in other countries too, but most of them are in this country. But so that's the end of my book, and hopefully soon I'll be able to get it published, so that way you can have it to read it and add to it and whatever. Oh, and then I almost forgot to talk about this. So on each page, like this is, you know, if you don't know that symbol, I mean, some of you might not know that symbol, but I had certain symbols that I really like, and this is different languages that just say I love you. And it started out mostly because it was going to be a religion, and so I was trying to point out that, like, yeah, this might be in English, but I would love to get it translated in all different languages. But to add different languages in it, I put the different languages, and all of them say I love you. And the symbols, a lot of the symbols are like from cultures that I've been learning about, and cultures that are kind of connected with my ancestors, because I have been looking into my ancestry. And so, but some of them are just symbols from like my favorite TV shows that I really like. Because a lot of the TV shows, they talk about our reality in a sense, but they just, you know, make up, you know, fictional characters and stuff, which we end up, you know, loving anyways. But I wanted to put the symbols in there because it's kind of my spiritual book, and, you know, symbols hold power, because some of these are like protective symbols and stuff like that, and that's what I wanted to put in there, but also just kind of connects that. Like, I have Lord of the Rings symbol in here, and the Hobbit, I think, symbol and stuff. And it's just like, it's basically just talking about good and evil, and how there is good and evil even in this world. Our good and evil just looks a little different. Our evil isn't some ugly monster. It's a very Botox person who has way too much money, and they abuse us in a sense that they take all of our basic needs, so that way we have to rely on their money bullshit. And so that's why I'm talking about, like, bringing fantasy and reality together, because they've been talking about our reality the whole fucking time, just in a very creative, imaginative way. And that's why I put the list at the end. And plus, it was kind of like just showing, like X-Files is one of the things that I put in here. Even Stranger Things is in here. Gargoyles, the old like 90s cartoon Gargoyles. Gargoyles. I can't say that word apparently. And like I talk about Maleficent in my in one of my past videos, and I have that as a list. So it's just kind of like showing where I watched some shit and got crazy hidden messages from it, and made me want to write this book in general, because this book, it means a lot to me, and it is my spiritual awakening of basically breaking away from religion in general. Because at first I was wanting to be religion, and then I was like, well, I want to call it a cult because I don't want it to be a religion. And then now I just don't give two shits about it being a religion or a cult, because at first I was going to have it where I was going to be tax exempt and all that bullshit, but now I don't give two shits about the government either or about money. I just want to be able to help people and not care about how much it's going to cost. Because that's the thing. Helping people, we shouldn't care about how much it will cost. We should just fucking do it, you know? And that's why it's more of a spiritual awakening. Like, I want to even pull us away from greed of money. Money is indeed fake, which I say in my past video, and it's just fake. It's pointless. And it was created by gold miners who stole gold from this land and claimed it as theirs. But then whenever other people were trying to get their share of it, they claimed them as thieves and said, oh, you're stealing my gold, when in reality it was never their gold in the first fucking place. And that's why, like, rich assholes who buy artifacts from other cultures, that they bought it with fake money. It doesn't belong to them, and all cultures should get their artifacts back. Or anything that's related to their culture, they should get it back. And so, like, it's not even just giving their land back, it's giving their dignity back, their the culture that they already was, believing in and doing it. Like, white colonizers have taken so many things from other cultures, it's unreal, and they claim it as theirs, and it's not theirs. And that's what I want this next few years to do, is like give back those artifacts to the cultures. And like we can have museums in that area where they're actually from, but then have the locals who are actually there, who have lived there for past generations, live there. They run the museum. They get to, of course I don't care for money, but like they should be the ones who get to teach us about that culture and about that artifact. Not some rich white fucks who just learned about it and is claiming, oh, well, this is ours now, we're going to teach you how. No, like, give it back to the different cultures that they should have been with this whole time. And that's why I wrote this book, was because it was my way of expressing how I view the world now, and how I think we should all view the world in our own little ways, and heal from the trauma and abuse that we've gone through. Because, like, even if it didn't personally affect you, it did affect you, because we're all connected spiritually, even with the animals and the plants. So like, killing the animals and plants is bad because we're connected with them. I don't know where I was going with that. I'm just trying to say, like, it does affect you no matter what. So no matter what, the forestry that's getting burned down or whatever, and those koala bears not having a home anymore, that affects you. Whether you like to admit it or not, it will always affect you. So that is the end of it. And I hope that you find your healing path, and you find your healing friends, family, and lovers, so that way you can have, true happiness, and we can finally have a healthy environment. I'm so exhausted, and I know all of you are too, but this is the last battle. We've got it. They have set themselves up to fail, because the thing is that the true evil and the true villains, they always set themselves up to fail, and that's what they've done. And so it's our turn to just take what's left and bring it up to where it can heal also. And that's the biggest part of what my book's about, is just that stop caring about what the government says or does and start changing it completely, because they didn't ask us about them changing shit. They didn't, we were sitting there telling them not to, but they chose not to listen anyways. So yeah, it's their turn to be silenced. The hate, the anger, the violence needs to be silenced, in a sense that they're put away to where they can go down their healing path without harming other people. Because even a healing path, you can sometimes go back on shit and, you know, start hurting people again, and we shouldn't allow that for them to do it. Because mentally, physically, emotional abuse, it's all the same, and it all needs to be held accountable for. And they don't have that power anymore, and we need to finish taking away that power, that hate, that violence, that abusive non way of thinking. Um, it's not right. It is completely wrong, and it's their turn to be silenced, and our turn to have our voices heard. So let's get to work. I guess. I don't know. Anyways, until then, keep healing, peace within, and always be kind.